Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mearsphere Origins. This is Daniel, your host. Welcome. Good morning. Good morning. It's Wednesday, March 10th. Wow, it's actually the 10th. Really? Wow. Could have sworn it was just like the 8th yesterday. I don't know. Maybe my computer's off. Oh, but thank you all for coming. Wookiee Supremacy. Hell, man. You catch Rhino bringing the heat this morning? Great video. Oh, no, I haven't checked his video. I definitely will after this. Hail to you and hail to anyone else who is in the chat. Today we're going to cover a couple of news, and then I'm going to introduce the newest member of the Mearsphere family, and I'll show you some pictures. He's not here right now because he's getting a certain little thing snipped today at the hospital. But he's he's doing really well. I was at the hospital all day yesterday, pretty much, since like, what time did I get it? That definitely is not right. What is that? Let me check this date. Wednesday, 10, Tuesday. I don't know. But yeah, it was fun. We went in. Yeah, it was the 9th yesterday. Oh, my bad. Yeah, so March 9th. We went in at the 8th and 9th. We went in. I butchered that word. Yeah. But yeah, so we were at the hospital. We went in about 5 o'clock last night. They did all the stuff. We had the baby. Was born about 44. Yeah, yesterday afternoon. I'll show you some pictures of him in a minute, but first I want to cover some news that's going on since last week. I actually found this out by Geeks and Gamers, and their little video they did yesterday about this, and so I looked up the article. Bounding in Comics did an article where Disney CEO Chapek confirmed Star Wars is dead. Pretty much what happened was there was an investor call. Some of the investors actually asked some pretty serious questions. Oh my God, right? One was, hey, are you going to fire Kathleen Kennedy? Because she's shit. Well, they didn't say that. I would have said that. You better be glad that I'm not on a freaking thing. I'd be like, hey, you know that Kathleen Kennedy keeps fucking burning Star Wars to the ground? When are you getting rid of her? We would like our money back. Right now, you're killing our investment, and we demand to know what you're doing to alleviate that. One second. But yeah, so anyways, Disney's Chapek confirms Star Wars is dead and provides riveting answers to questions about Gina Carano. No, he really doesn't. Disney CEO Bob Chapek recently gave an update on the Walt Disney Company during a company's 2021 annual meeting of shareholders. During question and answer meeting, Chapek confirmed that Star Wars is dead and Lucasfilm will continue to be staying on the company. Chapek's comments were brought to your attention by Twitter user Lorena Corral. The beautiful Elena Corral. I'm probably butchering her name. Forgive me, Elena. Who tweeted, someone just asked about firing Kathleen Kennedy. Asked at the Disney shareholders meeting. Someone just asking about firing Kathleen Kennedy asked at the Disney stockholders meeting. In fact, George from San Antonio, Texas, asked Chapek, are you guys looking to fire Kathleen Kennedy or asking her to resign and promote somebody like Filoni or Favreau or both to the Cole Council? Chapek responded, we've been absolutely thrilled that we can have a kind of creative talent in our company, the likes of Kathleen Kennedy running Lucas, and we look forward to having Kathleen directing and activities for entire Lucas organization for many years to come. And yeah, well, that's what I give to them. That, yeah. So create. Okay, so I'm sorry, but you could tell when it's all PR speak. This bitch probably has the biggest dirt on Chapek and Disney that you can imagine. I bet she's got some skeletons. She knows some skeletons. You know for a fact she's got all the dirt because there's no way this woman keeps this company at their knees like she does. For she's not a creative talent whatsoever. She has no creative bone in her fucking body. She's actually only destroyed everything that Star Wars stood for when George had it. All that responsibility is on this woman. All of it. I don't give a shit what fucking Bob Chapek comes out and fucking says. The guy is a fucking moron. Either they're the complete idiots or nobody's holding them to task. They asked the question. Maybe you should demand it. You're the shareholders. You're the people who have your money invested in Disney. They owe you, not the other way around. They owe you an explanation. You need to be like, hey, bitch, Chapek, you're our bitch. Where is our money? Why is our finances? Why is Star Wars in decline? Why is every video you come up with get ratioed to hell? Why is Lucasfilm firing people over Twitter instead of actually doing it face to face? These are some simple questions I would be asking Disney if I was a shareholder. If I own a decent amount in the freaking Disney, I'd be like, hey, stop being China's bitch. It's better than all of us. 2, the thing you did to Gina Carano, yeah, you need to come out and apologize to that woman. And demand the people responsible be fired. Because that shit was ridiculous and should never have fucking happened. While Chapek can praise Kennedy all he wants, the cold hard numbers show Kennedy is nowhere near the creative talent that Chapek claims she is. Kennedy has fired numerous directors for Star Wars projects. Yeah, she has no problem firing anybody. Why can't we fire her? Kennedy brought in Tony. Okay, let me get this straight. I don't believe in canceling anyone. I also believe that people who don't deserve to get fired sucks. But there are times when a company gotta go, you're killing us. You need to be gone. And it's been years now. Kennedy brought in Tony Glory to fix Rogue One. She dismissed Pill Lord and Christopher Miller from Solo and replaced him with Ron Howard, which, Solo lost money. She then canned Colin Trevorrow from Episode 9, which eventually became The Rise of Skywalker, directed by JJ. Yeah, fucking JJ. That was another mistake she did. She hired fucking JJ in bad reboot. And those are just the projects that actually were completed. She also canned Josh Trank and Boba Fett film. And more recently, she had to have the entire Obi-Wan Kenobi show rewritten after she claimed scripts had not been completed when the show was announced. Well, after she claimed the scripts were big, so she had the whole show. And then she made the fade in thing. That was fucking great. Piece of shit. Look at this box office. The 3 Disney sequel trilogy films repeatedly declined in the box office haul. As reported, the numbers, The Force Awakens grossed $2.065 billion at the global box office. $936.6 million was from North American theaters. It grossed $191 million in domestic video sales. The Last Jedi only grossed $1.332 billion at the worldwide box office. Only $620.1 million came from theaters and grossed $100.9 million domestic video sales. The Rise of Skywalker grossed $1.072 billion at worldwide box office, with only $515.2 million from theaters in North America. Gross only $66.5 million domestic videos. So as you can see, it's constantly going down. The climb from The Force Awakens to The Rise of Skywalker is significant. The gross of the global box office declined by 48% in North America and declined by 45% in domestic video sales, declined by 65%. So Star Wars is constantly. Then we had the Mando, and the Mando actually brought a lot of people back. Then they attacked that Star Wars theory because of his emotions. Pablo Delago came out and mocked him for it. And then the whole community blew up on him. Of course, the little coward that the fucking piece of shit is, hid his account and hid behind his little tweeteratsies. Now, we had Gina Carano be fired for her opinion, her political opinion. Basically, that was it. She had one political opinion they didn't agree with. They fired her because she was not a strong female that was towed the line. She was a strong, free-thinking female, and they canned her for it. Congratulations, and then they did that whole, we stand by Leia. Fuck you. Leia was a great woman. She wouldn't have stood by Star Wars. I'll bet you 100% she'd have walked away from this Lucasfilm. She said, no, I saw what you're doing. I don't want nothing to do with it. It's more than likely means people didn't go back to see the films multiple times. Yeah, because it sucked. I didn't even go back. After The Force Awakens, I went to the theater once, saw The Force Awakens, was confused as fuck. That's when I met the Phantom Menace community, and I was like, what the hell's going on? Because I've expected the EU books coming to the screen. And then we had freaking... I didn't watch the next one. I saw what they did to Luke, and I was out. I didn't want to go to theater. I waited till it was on something like Netflix, or I think it went to Netflix or Disney Plus or something, and I saw it there, and it took me like 10 tries to get through that damn movie. While the numbers clearly show Kennedy was not done a good job shepherding Lucasfilm and Star Wars, it appears Disney is sticking with her for a long haul. Don't expect Star Wars to improve anytime soon, whether that with the horrible people they employ to bankrupt creative storytelling. Maybe even more eye-opening on where Disney stands as a company, Bob Chapek was asked about firing of Gina Carano. David from Alexandria, Virginia asked, it's clear that there is a new blacklist published punishing conservatives in the entertainment industry. Disney Plus actors Peter Pascal and Gina tweeted similar analogies of the current political events to Nazi Germany. Yet only Carano, who is considered a conservative, was fired from The Mandalorian. Regarding Disney and a blacklist, this is his way. Chapek, whose tone and voice notably changed in response to the question. Yeah, he did sound a little fucking annoyed. But he did what? Like any good bitch does, he did the PR spin. I don't really see Disney as carrying itself as left-leaning or right-leaning yet. Instead, standing for values that are universal, values of respect, values of decency, values of integrity, and values of inclusion, he continued, and we seek to have not only how we operate, but the content that we make reflect the rich diversity of the world we live in. And I think that the world we all should live in harmony and peace. The world's not in harmony and peace. It's no wonder his voice changed while answering the question, because he straight up lied to David. One of Disney investors, if Disney actually valued inclusion, they wouldn't have fired Carano's via social media and lied about her in the press statement. Talk about value respect. Chapek showed none to David and exposed that his words are empty. It's clear that Disney does not believe any of the values that Chapek claims they do. The firing of Gina Carano proves the opposite. They fired Carano via a press statement and then lied about her. That is not respect. That is disrespect. That is not decency. It's intent and rude. Or indecent and rude, sorry. They don't value integrity, as they clearly lied about Carano when they fired her. And as for inclusion, they obviously don't believe in that, as David from Alexander points out. Both Carano and Pascal opposed analogies to the World War II, but it's Carano that was fired. Not sure how you can be inclusive if you are only firing people with political persuasion and not another. That is the opposite of inclusion. If Chapek thinks we should live in a world, it's a world of ruin. And he does think we should live in that world. In another question, he was asked about the biggest lesson he'd learned in the first year as CEO. As part of his answer, Chapek stated, I also say that I think the fact that we have a tremendous opportunity now going forward to bring this company back together and unite people under a common vision of Disney magic. Disney magic's been dead since Walt Disney. And what good with this Disney magic, and what's good with this world? Sorry, Disney is not uniting this country. Disney's magic has dried up and left. It has been replaced by liars and dishonest people like Bob Chapek. And lying and dishonesty is no way to unite a country and its people. Yeah, so Chapek came out, he totally fucking lied. Integrity? You want to fucking integrity bone your body, a bitch. You're China's bitch. Disney has become China's bitch. And I'm hoping, I did see that there are people in Congress right now trying to pass laws that prevents people like Disney getting Chinese money, period. If they could do that, that'd be fucking great. If we can get China out of our fucking economy, we can improve on crushing companies who sell our freaking values to the highest bidder. Disney is shite. Absolute shite right now. Why? Because the creative people that built Disney, the people who built the Walt Disney parks, Walt Disney, the guy who created Mickey Mouse and so many others. Yes, there are problems in their past. Yes, they've not been the greatest company, but they brought great stuff to the world, great entertainment. Unfortunately, those people are gone. Now they're all activists. And Jeff Hake, whatever, freaking Chapak, fucking cheap ass Chapek, is just the newest member of the fucking corrupt pieces of shit over at Disney, Lucasfilm, Disney, they're all the same now. Kathleen's only hired, she straight up hired, the High Republic authors are straight up, some of them are straight up racist. You hate anybody by the color of their skin or by their race, you're a racist. I don't care if you hate white people, black people, whatever, you're a fucking racist. If you hate them because of the skin tone, you have fucking issues beyond anything I can ever think of. I say everybody's a human being. I don't care if they're trans, straight, gay, or not. I will treat everyone like a brother until I can't. And it's not me who can't treat them like the brother. It's them who make it where I can't treat them like a brother. It's up to them. I'll show you respect, but you better show me respect first. Respect is earned. So far, Disney has only shown us, the fans, disrespect. They have shown us nothing but contempt. They hate us. That is why I canceled my Disney Plus subscription, and I will not get it back, even though my wife bitches at me every day because she is a Disney fan and she is a normie and she has no idea what's going on, even though I try to explain to her constantly. I will not put my name or the name of my brand anywhere near Disney. Fuck these people. They will hate me? Fine. I don't need to deal with you fucking pieces of shit. That's why I no longer review, watch, anything with Disney, period. I don't want anything to do with them. That's why I don't give a shit what happens in WandaVision. I don't care what happens to the Marvel universe. I don't give two shits what happens in Star Wars anymore. I'm done. I'm done with it all. They can go, if they love China so bad, maybe they should move all of Disney to China. Go have that Chinese dollar and get and watch that Chinese government do something up your bum. God, I hate fucking Disney. I hate Disney. I don't even like Disney World. I've been there. I hated it. It was the worst, most stressful vacation of my life. I was straight up saying I didn't like it. I like Universal more. I'd rather go to Universal. Well, now Universal's canceling their freaking Dr. Seuss World. But in other news, what's up, bud? Just letting you know, I've been listening as I'm doing home stuff. Keep it up. 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser. Welcome, man. Thank you. I'm glad you're listening. But this stuff, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't know if you guys even, it mind boggles me how they can be so dang, just, I don't get it. Oh, but I do have something else to share with you guys real quick. Yes, the lovely new character of the High Republic, Geode. This is the creator. He just said that, oh my God, he's like, she's such a genius. Oh my God, she's so great. Really? She came out of fucking rock. As a storyteller myself, as a guy who's trying to write his own book, as a guy who's literally editing right now the full story, trying to get everything completed so I can get it out. But before this year ends, that's my goal, is to have the book completely, everything done and get out. And it's a lot of work. It is, because I have to come up with characters. I got to keep everything within the timeline. I got to constantly read back and make sure I'm not messing up the timeline, because trust me, that if you're just writing out and then you kind of do something, you got to make sure it fits. Everything's got to fit. A good writer's got to make sure everything fits from beginning to end. The characters need to be interesting and fun. And, these are professional writers. I'm not even a professional writer. I didn't go to school to be a writer. I never did. I hated writing in school. That was the worst subject ever. My English skills, freaking horrible. That's like God for Grammarly. I want to say that program was helping me a lot. And people who helped me edit. Like my brother, who's like going back and making sure everything sounds right. He's helping me read it out loud. He's helping me test out, make sure the sounds good, make sure the characters are fun and interesting. He says, hey, that character looks boring. I'll be like, okay, let me switch some stuff up. Hey, what if we added this? One day, something my dad I was talking to my dad earlier because I was showing him the baby pictures and stuff. And we talked about my book, and he told me I should add something pretty interesting of one of the creatures I had in my book. And I actually thought that was really interesting when he thought. I was like, you know what? That's actually a good idea. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to turn one of the creatures I put in my book a little bit different. Stuff like this helps build a world that just looks awesome. And these are professional. These are guys who went to school, who studied, the greatest writers probably ever. Like, freaking George Lucas was a great writer. Him and the people who helped him build Star Wars, the real Star Wars. Lord of the Rings. His name escaped me for a second. My brain's not working. God. I'll have to think of it later. I can't think of his name. Why can't I think of his name? That's gonna bug me for a while. My brain just stopped. I got one of his books down there somewhere. I'll have to get it. But yes, you all know who I'm talking about. He created Lord of the Rings, the guy who created Dune. You got Mark Hines back here who created the Dwarf books. Now these guys create great freaking stories and great characters. When you can read a book and you're laughing out loud because of statements that one of the characters say in the book, it's good. I like audiobooks. So I do plan when my book comes out, if I make enough, I can help hire me some good audio people. I suck reading out loud. I'm going to have an audiobook created too, so that people who can't just sit down with a book and read, like a lot of times I can't, especially now with a baby. Oh my gosh, it's going to be hard as hell to sit down and just read. I probably will end up reading a lot more because I'll be sitting there feeding the baby and reading a chapter. But yeah, I have my audiobooks, especially Dwarf audiobooks are really good. You should check them out. Stuff like that. These people went to school and they had to study these great writers, and then they get hired by. Can you imagine going to school to be a writer? Getting hired by Lucasfilm to write Star Wars. When I was a kid, that would have been a freaking dream. I wouldn't have done it, not now, because I would know that I don't know as much as I need to know about Star Wars. I'm not I like the EU. I read some of the EU books. I haven't read up every single one of them. I'm not like Ryan Canal, who's got the entire collection in his house. I used to have it. My dad actually collected them, but then he sold them after a while, unfortunately. So I no longer have any of the books. I have a couple of the books, but I need to go get some. I need to recollect those. But the EU was a freaking great. Yeah, they had some problems here and there, but they were pretty good stories. And now we get this. Can you imagine how embarrassing this is? I would be embarrassed if I was sitting in a writing room with a bunch of other writers and they're like, "Hey guys, we need a new character for this High fucking Republic." First of all, who comes up with the name High fucking Republic? Well, I would be like, guys, no. Are we on drugs? Because that's what people are going to say. We're all on fucking drugs. And that's what the people say. They named the vessel. Yes, the X-Wing looks like an X. I get it. But it's an X-Wing. It's just something that's, and it had an interesting shape. This is just a triangle. Does it even look like anybody could fit in that ship? Look how tiny that ship is. Like, look at it. They're standing. Yeah, it's supposed to be into the background, but that doesn't look like anything like the Millennium Falcon. When you had the Millennium Falcon on the scene with people, it was massive. So when the people got inside the Millennium Falcon, walked around the halls and got in the rooms, you felt it was real. Like if they showed a ship like this and then had people walking through it, you would be like, no, I don't think you're not going to fit. This looks like a stealth jet. They stole the stealth jet. They took the design of a stealth jet and made it a spaceship. and called it Vessel. Oh my god. It is so bad. And then they're like, hey guys, welcome to Geode, a rock. We're clever, aren't we? Clever, huh? Guys. It only moves when you're not looking. Like, that hasn't been done before, right? Like, come on. Doctor Who and the angels. At least those were angels and were interesting. And like, they could, if you had to know, those things were freaky. Because if you weren't watching and they touch you, they throw you back in any time they could. They like bangs and shit. And they're fucking creepy as shit. But that, it's like, but it's force it. Shut up. Just shut up. It would be one thing if it could like walk. Like, at least gave it legs and arms and have it like walk around. Maybe not even walk around. Have it have like floating arms that like, use the force with other rocks to have hands. And it could like do things, and the rocks would change maybe to legs or something. And it would just have like, that way it could move around. And it was like telepathic. Something. But no, they're just like, it's a rock. It can do stuff, but only when you're not looking. I'm like, are you all mentally challenged at Lucasfilm? All the people in the writing room like, you're clever guys. Fuck. I would be embarrassed to put my name on this fucking book. I would be like, you know what, guys? I'm out. And they'd be like, what? I'd be like, no, I don't want my name on this shit. This is garbage. This is shite. I don't want my name attached anywhere close to this ever. And I would walk out and I would go do my own thing, because that's what I'm doing. I'm doing my own thing because I don't want pieces of shit like Disney being able to tell me what to fucking write. That's why I'm not publishing. I thought about it when I was first starting. I was like, what if I could find a publisher? And then people were like, dude, I don't know, because publishers can control what you write. You're like, hey, that was a great book, but we want you to add these kind of characters. And I'm like, fuck off. I write what the fuck I want to write. I will make money because I write good stuff. If I don't make money, it's because I didn't write good stuff. And I can accept that. I can be like, you know what? Maybe my books weren't as good as I thought they were. And that's fine. I can take it. But I'm going to write it. I'm going to write it as best I can. I'm going to have people look at it. People help me out. Go, hey, maybe this and this you can do. Maybe that's a little too out there. Maybe do this with it. And then, boom, I can throw a book out. And then people can love it or they cannot. And I'm fine with both. I don't know. I actually can't wait till I get it all edited and out there for everybody to read. Maybe cat just jumped up on the table. The whole table rocked. Anyways, but it's like, purge yourselves all this crap. Because it's crap. But I do have something I do want to put in here. Let's exit that. And let's pull up. Well, I don't need that anymore. Let's exit that. And we're going to pull up my introduction. Let's stop sharing that for a second. Make sure I get it to the right one. I want to introduce you guys to the newest member of my family, the Meanosphere. His name is Asher. He was born yesterday. He's a real cute redhead. He got a little bit of red hair, and he's got a little round face. He's all freaking adorable. He was born at, 8 pounds, 1 point like something, 8 pounds something. But yeah, see, got a little cute little face. He's my this is my son. I have 2 stepkids, a stepdaughter, and a stepson. My stepdaughter is 14. Stepson is 11 now. And then I have 2 daughters of my own. One is 5, one is 4. And now I have the last child I'm having. The last child. Thank God. Is my son. I wanted a son. I've had 2 girls, and I just, I was like, I want to have at least one more. We're going to try one more time. Hopefully I have a son, because I don't want to have all girls. I want to have a boy so I can continue my name, continue the family, so on. My brother has a daughter, and my other brother's not even married. My sister's not married. And I was like, I really want to have at least one of us have a boy. And we finally did. And here he is. Wookiee Sprint that crash. Thank you, man. Finally, we had a son. Thank God it was a son because I don't want to try again. I got too many kids. I don't want to, So yeah, he's a little cutie pie. He's a very healthy young little boy born just yesterday. And yeah, he's a little chewing his little blankie. He's got little tiny feet. Oh, you got little feet. But yeah, he's a little healthy baby. And they say he's very healthy, nothing wrong with him. So yeah, I think my wife was in labor about like 2 or 3 hours, and then boom, he was out. And yeah, it was good. We finally, this is our final baby, and right now he's at the hospital with my wife, who's still in the hospital because they only allow one visitor. My daughter is actually not in school today, so I have to stay home with her. It kind of sucks because I would like to be able to take her with me, but the hospital won't allow children unless, because they don't want to expose them to anything. And so I was able to stay with her for a while yesterday while the kids were with their grandparents. And today I won't be able to go in, but she should be either released today or tomorrow. And then I'll be able to put him on little live streams every once in a while when when I do a live stream. I'll have him hanging out with me. Actually, he's going to be hanging on me a lot because his swing's right back there. So I'm working. He can actually be in his little sleeping, because that's where he'll sleep most of the time, is his little swing. And his bouncer's over there. I'll be taking care of him over here. And yeah, so. Oh, I've had enough kids. I don't know. Those guys are like, hey, you want? No, I don't want. I'm done. I have had enough, and I am glad I finally had a son. And now that my family got a little bit bigger, but a couple more years, my stepdaughter will be going on to college, and a couple more years after that, my stepson, they'll be gone, and then it'll just be getting the girls and him. So it's like being a dad, and being here with you guys is a lot of fun. I get to experience all this stuff with you guys. It's been interesting. This is new to me. So, I've only got 147, 48 subscribers right now. So keep making sure my name gets out there, guys, because it helps. You guys are helping me build. And, I want to hit 200 before probably March ends. That way, at least I hit 200 and I can keep going to 1,000. I want to hit 1,000. That way I can start making a little extra money on the side to help, pay for books and stuff. But yeah, so I can't wait to get all this stuff out there, guys. The book is getting. I'm having so much fun going in and reading through all my chapters. And right now, I'm still. Roof Korean is John Galt. Congratulations on the baby. Thank you, man. Thank you. He's a cute little guy. He came out. It was a little chubby cheeks, and I was like, oh my god. Sorry. I'm not one of those dads that's gonna go crushing over his kid. Well, guys, I'm the only good guy who's ever had a kid. But I'm glad. Finally, I have a son. His name is Asher Griffin. So we named him Asher. I'm not sure why we picked Asher. We just picked Asher because it sounded cool. And then Griffin, I kind of wanted to have at least a middle name that kind of had a mythology to it. And I like Griffins. And so we named him after the mythical beast Griffin. And so it's kind of cool. So later on in life, he could be like, yeah, my middle name's got a Griffin. I don't know. Not Family Guy, the mythical beast. But yeah, so other than that, working on the book, I've been dividing up chapters. I'm getting later and later. I'm not into I was at first working on the first couple chapters. Now I'm in the later chapters of the book. So about midway. What I did was I wrote out the whole book. I just typed up, and I didn't really put chapters. And so I had to go in and I had to figure out what's a good place to break them up. Put them as chapters, not too short, but not too long. Where's Wookiee Supremacy? That's crazy. I just assumed you had more. I put I put out a garage and I'm pushing 500. I'll share you out. Nice, man. Congratulations. You're pushing 500? Nice. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, if you share me out, that's great, man. Yeah, I have 140. I'll have to look. Last time I checked, I had like 148, 147. But yeah, I mean, I'm growing slowly, man. This is a grind, but it's a fun grind. Every single sub is like, I smile when I go back and I check my thing and I got 2 or 3 more subs. I'm like, yeah. Like, I don't, to me, it's just great because this is the experience like so many others before me, like Gary and Az. All these people had to build their channels, and I don't want to just one day have somebody come on and go like, "Hey, I got 1,000,000 subs, guys, get this guy," and all of a sudden I have like 10,000 subs. Like, yeah, it would be nice because then I get monetized right away. But I would feel, I don't know, like it'd be too easy. I kind of want to earn it. Build and build and build and be honest with you guys. That's this channel and so many other the Phantom Menace guys we give our opinion, our honest opinion about everything we think. We don't lie to you guys. We don't try to twist it to fit our whatever. We give our honest opinion on what's going on with entertainment and whatever else we want to talk about. And you guys, the chat, are what make this all worth it. All of you guys, you come in, you chat with us, you bring, fun. I can play game. Well, when I get my better computer, actually, the internet guy comes tomorrow. Hopefully, not the same time they release my wife, because they're like, hey, she's going in. Either she can be released today or tomorrow morning, and I'm like, internet guy's coming tomorrow morning. I don't want to reschedule because if I have to reschedule, it's gonna be like 2 weeks before they can come in again. They're gonna have the internet guy's gonna move my modem. He's gonna give me a new modem because I'm running crapping out. But he's moving the modem right here so I can plug my computer right into it. And then I gotta get my new computer. When I get my new computer, an actual gaming computer with like streaming abilities, I'm gonna be playing games with you guys, like Valheim. I had that one Kingsmaker. I'm still playing that game. I'll be doing a lot more of those. I'll be doing other games with you guys as I get games for the computer, like Final Fantasy 14. I'll get that for my computer when I get it. I have it on the PlayStation. I gotta get a capture card before I can upload a bunch of stuff from there. But yeah, I'm just having fun with all you guys. And this is what I want to do. I want to take care of my kids. My wife is traveling nurse, so she travels, 2-3 hours a day, or more than that actually. She travels like 2 hours to work, works 12 hours, travels 2 hours back, works 4 days a week, makes enough money to I don't have to work, so that we could. Well, for one, babysitters are way too freaking expensive. They are. So I left my job so I could take care of my kids. So doing this, now I can do this full time, take care of them, take care of the baby, write my book. I got a lot more time to write my book now. I work at 2 to 3 hours a day on the book every day, which is actually a lot of fun because I'll be times when I'm not doing my book and I'm thinking about my book. I'll be sitting there doing dishes, listening to someone else's book, but my brain is like, you know what? It would be cool if I added this to the book. But then I gotta like kind of anchor myself because you don't want to go too crazy when you're writing. You don't want to be like unchecked, So I will pass it through my brother. I'll be like, hey, what if we add this to this part of the book? And he's like, I don't know, that's a little too much. And I'm like, okay, well, you're right. And then I'll like, okay, and I'll shove that aside, and I'll, stuff like that, helps anchor me. I don't want to be like freaking Star Wars. It's like, hey guys, what would be cool? A rock. And they're like, yeah. Like nobody in there going, no. Hell, hey, you know what would be cool? Space dinosaurs. Like dinosaurs can be interesting in a sci-fi fantasy, but you got to really explain it well. Okay, you have dinosaurs. Is it because the world is in a Jurassic period? Maybe you're going to a new world. Maybe that world is in that Jurassic period where it's got dinosaurs and stuff. Are there lizard people? They do have lizard people within Star Wars. That might be an interesting thing. Say, those lizard, what are they called? The little hunter guys that fight the Wookiees. If they came from that world or something, like that's their ancient home world. And it's still in the Jurassic period. Maybe a spaceship landed and the people took, the aliens, failed to defend themselves, and the lizard people took over their spaceship and forced these people to teach them how to use it. I don't know. Stuff like that might be interesting. But just be like, hey, dinosaurs. Okay. Kids like them. All right. They're in Warhammer. So you're stealing it for Warhammer. Yes. Whatever. Oh my God. It's Lucasfilm. Jesus Christ. Half the people, half the creatives on YouTube, Ryan Cannell, friggin' so many others, Lethal Lightning, and all these guys within the Phantom Menace who are, other former YouTubers, probably could write. Mara Jade probably could write for Star Wars because I know Star Wars. The EU. That Star Wars girl, she knows a lot. All these people, if Disney could just go, you know what? Maybe our fans are the people we knew. You expecting that from Disney? Yeah. I just don't understand it because you think these guys would be smart enough because, they have $100 billions of dollar company that its very foundation lies on the fans. When you have an entertainment company, a company that, brings entertainment to people, your very foundation is the people, not the company, not your produce. It's the people who love your stuff. So what you need to do is keep them happy. Sometimes when you're at a stuck and you're like, what should I bring to the fans? Maybe it's time you bring the fans to you. Maybe it's time you open your doors to, what's his name? The Star Wars channel that they made fun of. Star Wars Theory. Bring guys like him. Maybe Ryan Cannell, Star Wars Theory. A couple of guys, that Star Wars girl. OG Star Wars. Some of these people, bring them in. Like these actual YouTube creators have a big following that obviously know Star Wars from the EU. Writers from the EU. George Lucas himself, he's still alive, you fucking morons. Lord Callis' story group. Yeah. Just these kind of guys who understand Star Wars, who have that heart and soul that burn for this story. And then sit them down and be like, hey guys, we know that you love Star Wars. You have a big following. A lot of people respect your opinion on Star Wars. How can we bring a new product to the fans? It wouldn't be that hard. You know what I would be? I'd be like, Vader movie, Vader TV show. Just make a Vader TV show. If you made a Vader TV show where it followed Vader as he was being trained from when he was just fell to all the way until he became Lord Vader, like the Emperor training him and him hunting down Jedi and stuff, you would have the greatest show on Earth. Go back in time to the Old Republic, bring in Revan, freaking, Darth Maul, what was his name? Darth Plagueis and Darth, all these other, big time bad guys, and just delve into the dark side and all this stuff. You would have massive hits. It's not even hard. A lot of us could be like, name off a couple characters in Star Wars and be like, that'd be cool. And if they did the EU instead of following the stupid Rey and that shit, they should have followed the EU. A show about the purge of the Jedi. Yeah, where it's literally, Emperor Palpatine has now become the Emperor. And now he's slowly making sure any world that rebels is being crushed under their heel. And then he's sending out Vader to hunt down Jedi as he's training him more and more in the dark side. As Vader's becoming more and more powerful within the dark side and getting used to his, his new, because now you got, what's his name? Star Wars Theory did a great Vader fan film where it kind of hints at, the suffering of Vader, where he was getting used to, he killed Palpatine. Now he's stuck in his armor that constantly causes him pain. Stuff like that would be sick. If they just took that and they made it into a full-on show where like Vader is the main character and he's got the look, you got to see Vader from another side and, his suffering, his trials, the Emperor turning him more and more to the Dark Vader that we all know, and before Luke, helps bring him back to the light. Maybe there's a part of him that's still light throughout the show. Like there's something in him that's still craving to bring him the Anakin, inside of him. If you had a good writer, a good team, you could really bring that show to life and have Obi-Wan in the background, always in his mind, thinking that Obi-Wan is somewhere out there. But every time he hunts down a Jedi, he's hoping it's Obi-Wan, and ends up not being him. And his fury that it's not Obi-Wan, and he ends up killing the other Jedi, or as a Jedi begs him or tries to plead with him. Hail, Or's board. Hail, man. Welcome. They could do stuff like that, but they can't because they don't have people hired at Lucasfilm who give a care anymore. They don't. They showed that with this Rock thing. They absolutely showed they don't give two craps about the story, about anything. And it's sad because the fans deserve a lot better. And, and them saying, they're praising Kathleen Kennedy, that just shows us that they don't give a shit. They're getting ratioed to hell on YouTube, on everything, Instagram, everything they post for the higher comment gets destroyed. Every comment is Gina Carano freaking thing. It was freaking awesome. And I'm one of them guys. I get on their channel, I dislike, and I put a Gina Carano quote because one day they're going to learn you can't burn someone just because you don't like their opinion. And there are people that don't like me. That's fine. There are people I don't like. That's fine. Star Wars theory for the longest time, I followed them, and then one day I was like, you know what, man? You get a little shillish, and I stopped watching him because I felt bad for him because his whole channel is Star Wars. Now he's stuck. God, I'd hate to do that because now he's literally has to report on the High Republic, and he's got to lead these books, and he's got to suffer through the end of Star Wars, the thing he loved way farther than I love Star Wars, but that guy is his entire life is around Star Wars. And just, I gotta feel bad for the dude because it's dying, it's dead, and he just can't accept it. And he might end up having to change his channel a little bit. Maybe finally he'll come out and be like, guys, I tried. I just can't do this anymore. I can't support what they're doing. I didn't like, some of the Mandalorian was all right. Bringing back Luke Skywalker made a lot of the fandom think that something was finally happening. Maybe the sequel trilogy was finally going to get gone. Maybe they finally admitted that they were wrong, the fans were right, and they're going to bring in something better. And then they showed us what they really meant right off the bat. Mocking Star Wars theory, and then now coming out and trying to lie and twist Gina Carano into something bad and using the media to slander her was pathetic. And then Disney just came out and said, we're in full support. This whole thing, this little thing that we covered earlier was Paycheck, or whatever his fucking name is, cheap ass whatever, fucking came out and said Disney supports the harassment, the bullying, and the destruction of true, strong, independent female thought. We support Kathleen Kennedy. That's what he said. We call her a genius. He called her, she's the greatest thing. We could never have had anyone better. No, right. We are so happy for her. While the whole world burns Lucasfilm to the ground. And she can't even come out and say two words while being destroyed. So, no. She fired Gina. She had her puppets bully her into submission on Bob Paycheck. That's perfect. Paycheck, yeah. Pretty much, yeah. But he doesn't give paychecks. He withholds them because, fucking bitch. I don't get how these investors let him get away with it. I would be fucking pissed. If I was that guy who asked that question, he'd throw that back at me. I wouldn't let it end like that. He'd be like, okay, next question. I'd be like, ho, fuck off. Integrity? You got on there, you fired Gina Carano over social media. You don't even have the balls to fire face to face. You fire over social media because you know he should kick your ass. 2, you slandered her on social media. Slandered her. I would have told him that to his face. I said, okay, well, you slandered her, you lied about her, you fired her because of her political opinion, which is illegal in this country. You cannot fire someone because that's not diversity. That's, you're firing someone because you don't like their politics. I'm pretty sure that's illegal. Maybe not in Florida, but at least here in Missouri it is. You can fire someone for almost anything in Missouri. But if they find out you fired them for their political beliefs or their religious beliefs, you're done. They'll sue you in the next world. You can fire them just because you won't give them retirement, because they do it all the time. Trust me. I worked for a company that did that, and I never was happy about that. It really was that's a horrible thing to do. It's when someone's literally like a week away from retirement, and they're like, thanks for all your hard work, but we're going to have to let you go. Here's a nice little package. Not like your retirement package you would have gotten a week. You've been working here for 30 years, but we brought in this new person to help us structure our company better. And he's decided that we don't need you. We're going to use somebody else to fill your position. Sorry. It's like, what the fuck? Like, and then they're telling us, because I work security at the place, they're like, guys, make sure that nobody comes back pissed. I'm like, that guy comes back with a baseball bat. You don't give me a gun. I may just let him break your legs. Because, this is why I don't work security anymore, for shitty people. God, that was like the worst thing ever. That job, I hated some of the stuff in that job. Like, some of the job was fun, but when they let someone go after like 30 years, right before retirement, and they have little golf carts sitting there that I have to get them in because they have to go sit in the golf cart, and I have to drive them to their car, make sure they leave the property. It's the worst part. It was the worst part of my job, because I'm sitting there trying to drive a car. I'm a little security guy with no power whatsoever, and this dude's bawling because now he doesn't know what the hell he's going to do, because he just wasted 30 years of his life giving to a company he believed cared about him. And I gotta get into his car and go, have a nice day, please leave the lot. I've been here 2 years. God, I hated that part of that job.
Daddy,
what?
I'm hungry.
Okay, almost done, okay? Say hi. Say hi. Joy birthday, hi.
Hi.
All right, go. Oh, I gotta wrap this up pretty quick. Little one's getting hungry. So, but it's a job. Life sucks. There's a saying my dad had when I was growing. He's like, life is gonna kick you in the ass. I've done a lot in security, but I never liked that. Yeah, it did suck. I've had what?
Daddy, I'm gonna eat something.
Sorry about that. Yeah, it was, God, I hated that part of the job. It really did suck, because what happened was the company was like downside. They were trying to sell. And what they did was they brought in these weird fucking people who were like, no idea really what the company did, because you could tell. And they're like, well, you only need 3 people to do this job instead of 5. And the people are like, no, we need 5 because we're working our ass off. And they're like, no, you can work harder. Just you 3. One of the funniest thing was one of their facilities they closed, they fired one guy. And they didn't realize that this guy was the only guy who knew to do this part of the job. Like, this company built batteries, like massive batteries for like defense and stuff like that. And they had one guy who literally knew his job. He's been working there 20 plus years. He's been on the same job. He's the guy everybody knows that job. And so he constantly does it. He's never trained anyone else to do that part of the job. And they're like, well, they don't really need him. So they fired him. It's worse is working security or polling security. Yeah. What was funny is I was laughing my ass out because they fired him after 20 some years. And then soon as the people that were there to tell them how to better run their business, in a second, girl, I'll be right there. The people left. They paid the people like, thanks. You know, you made a bit. You know what they do is they make the company look cleaner and better and more for other people to buy. Well, then all of a sudden they hit a brick wall, and they realized, we can't actually get the product out anymore because the guy who helped get this part of the product done is gone, and nobody knows how to do that job. So they had to call him back up and be like, you know how we fired you? Yeah, we're going to need you to come back and train other people how to do it. And he's like, okay, I want this amount of money. You want me to train other people to do the job I did for you for 20 years? I want this amount of money. And they're like, damn. So the guy just walked in. They had to pay out the ass office security. No, he wasn't security. He was like, the company made big batteries, like industrial sized batteries. And he was one guy who know a part of the battery. And that was his job. Is this one part that made the battery, you know, all these different parts that make the battery work. Well, the guy who's been working there 20 some years worked on a single part. He knew that job. He knew how to get that part done perfect. And he never had a problem. You know, when they let him go, it was like, he was like, what the fuck? But he never trained. And this is a problem a lot of these companies have, is they don't know the little people. And sometimes the little people know their job really well, and they don't train others to do that exact same job. So they had one dude working on one part. And then when they fired him, nobody else knew how to do that part at all. They were trying to guess. They were like, you guys can figure it out. They're like, no, if we try to figure it out and it goes wrong, your battery explodes in your face. They're like, oh. So they had to call him back on the phone. Can you imagine being that guy who's like, I fired you last week, but we need you to come back. And he's like, bitch, I want to make you bleed for firing me. So he did. He demanded a huge amount of money to come back and train other people. They were, if they kept him, they would not have lost that, like, all that money, you know, to train other people. So I laughed my ass. I was like, laughing. I'm like, good. He got him back. Good. They got sued a couple times. You know, I watched them get sued because they fired a bunch of people, and they're like, oh yeah, well, we're going to get a lawyer. All right, suggest that, hey, if you get fired for the wrong reason, get a lawyer if you can. Unfortunately, some of these big companies like Disney have lawyers out the ass, and they'll just bankrupt you with the shittiest legal. That's that thing I hate about our legal system. But, you know, I'm just going to wrap it up. Thank you all for coming. I'll show those pictures out real quick. I think I still have them up. No, I don't. Give me 1 second. We show one picture again so I can leave it off with a good a last little thingy. Let's see which one I want to do. Here we go. Just share one cute little thing before we go. And then I will say thank you all for being here. I was happy, so glad to be a part of this community, be a part of you, to have you guys in the chat, Roof Korean, Wookie, you know, Orbs, all of you guys who come and join the chat, and so many others who've been here, you know, 32 flavors, you know, all of you guys who may be in the chat and we're not really talking in chat, what's fine. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you have not subscribed yet. It helps us build the channel. Share this video out there. Thank you all for coming, and I'll see you next time in the Metersphere. Stay safe, stay healthy, be good to each other, and have a fantastic day.